Hey, hello, and welcome to the show. It is me, JP, and you are here just in time for JP's product pick of the week. Thank you so much for stopping by. We have people over in our YouTube chat, and that right there is Dave Odessa. Hello, and welcome to anyone who comes after that. And our Discord is the other place to go check out if you want to chat with people during the show. That's at adafruit.it/discord. Head there, then look for that live broadcast chat channel, wherever it is, there it is. And I want to say hello to Sam J. Ohio, VP Tech Ops, Jim Hendrickson, Paul Cutler, Byron, Blitz City DIY, Dan Coliano, Thin Man, hi-ho, hello. And thank you for joining me. I am excited about this week's product, I should say, and I want to give you a chance to head on over to the site right there where that's being broadcast from inside the product page. So head there, it's product ID 6174. Did you know you could just go to adafruit.it/6174? That's our little URL shortener. Head on over there and you will find this week's product pick, as well as this video is being broadcast live inside the product page. And we have a 50% off deal going on this product pick. This is a pretty fresh, new, hot off the press kind of product. It's a high, as you can see, it's a high ID number or a PID number there. And let's see what else. I guess without any further ado, I will have us jump back in time to the new, where Limor first introduced the first variant of this project or product, and then the actual one that we have today. So let me bring that up and take it away, Lady Ada.
All right, next up is the SHT45. This was by customer request. We've stocked the SHT40 for a bit, which is a fairly good quality, like 1.8 or 2% relative humidity precise sensor. This is the SHT45, which is the same code interface as the SHT40. So if you've got firmware or driver for the SHT40, the 45 is the same, but it's much higher quality. So these are the ones that passed like the much better sensor test. They are 1% humidity and 1.1 degrees centigrade accurate humidity and temperature sensors. They're very simple. They only have I2C interface, but we've got Arduino and CircuitPython code. You can't change the I2C interface address, or only OX44. That's the only thing that comes in. If you need to connect multiple of these, you could use our I2C multiplexer. We have the PCA 9548 and PCA 9546 is in the store, so you could plug and play those if you need to have a bunch of them. But they're a little more expensive because they're higher quality. But if you really want, like, this is really one of the most accurate and precise temperature and humidity sensors that we've got, and our PCB has a nice little cutout, so there's a little bit of thermal isolation. They're a really wonderful sensor, and we do have WipperSnapper support as well for the SHT4X series. So again, plug and play, no code required to make an IoT project with this sensor, or use your existing Arduino or CircuitPython code to add this very lovely sensor to your temperature and humidity monitoring or logging. Dun dun! The PTFE version of the SHT45. We had a bunch of requests for this. When are you going to have the PTFE version of the SHT45? When? Where's my spy camera? Well, finally, the chips were released and available to purchase. So this is just like the SHT45, really high quality temperature and humidity sensor from Sensirion that we've had in the shop for a while. But you could say there's a tiny difference. In the middle, there's a little white dot. That white dot is a filter that is custom made that basically protects the humidity sensing cavity from particles and dampness and junk from getting in there, but it doesn't slow down the reaction rate of the sensor. So it's a little bit more expensive, but it will make your sensor last a lot longer. Now, it's still not, you can't put this thing outside. It's not weatherproofed, but for indoor use, it'll still last much longer, especially if there's any dirt or dust in the air.
Yes, indeed. That is right. That is it. Sorry, I just noticed that the YouTube connection was broken for a moment there. Hopefully that is back up before I continue. I'll just double check in the chat that people are seeing the video play there. Bum, 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 bum. No word from the chat about it. Okay, let's assume that's running. I get a YouTube now says excellent to the stream, so sure. So let's move ahead with the show. This right here is the product pick of the week. This week it is the SHT45 humidity and temperature sensor. It is a high precision sensor that is true I2C, and this is the variant with the PTFE filter over the sensor hole right there. So you'll see, let me switch to a down camera right here. You'll see right in the center here, there's this little white dot. That is a little piece of PTFE material, a little membrane that is used to keep particulate matter out of the sensor, which just helps with accuracy. So you can use this in a dustier environment. It's not waterproof. You're not going to use this out in the rain or anything like that. But it will work indoors and in a dustier environment than the variant that does not have the PTFE filter. So that's the version right there. Let me head over to the website right there. You can see, so like I said before, this is product ID 6174, and we have it for half price. So it is $6.75 today. We had 100 stashed. Thank you to the new products team. We've sold 22 of them. So people are buying these. Don't wait too long if you want to get them. As is always the case with the new products show, there is no coupon code necessary. There are no rain checks or back orders. The price is what it is during the show, which is half price. So $6.75 will get you the SHT45 today, now, and then a little bit after the show, that price is going to go back up. So what to say about it? It is easy plug and play. You can use it in Arduino. You can use it in CircuitPython. You can use it in WipperSnapper. I'll show you a nice, easy demo of using that in WipperSnapper. You are going to get a 0 to 100% humidity range with 1% accuracy. And you can go from -40 to 125 degrees Celsius with a 0.1 degree accuracy. So those are the ranges on this one. We sell a number of them in the Sensirion line, and this is, I think, the top one with the best accuracy. If you take a look at the main page, if you scroll down, you will see we have the primary guide here. And if I click on this, this actually is, go to the overview page. This is a guide for the SHT40, 41, and 45. We have that range of them. The pinouts are listed here. You could use the solder pads on these if you had a reason to. We also have some nice mounting holes, especially if you're not using the solder pads. You might want to just plug in Stemma QT cables onto that and then feed that to another device of some kind. There is only a single I2C address for this, no jumper or anything. We can't change it. It's hard-coded into it. So if you did want to use multiple of this sensor on a single microcontroller, you would need to come up with an I2C multiplexer solution. So you'll see here there is a Arduino section and a Python and CircuitPython section. So this will work on microcontrollers, of course, as well as a Raspberry Pi using Blinka or other single board computers that can use Blinka. And if you take a look below those, there's an example here of using WipperSnapper. So WipperSnapper, if you're not familiar with it, is our no-code IoT setup inside of Adafruit IO, where you can select a device. It will generate the UF2 file that you drag onto it to flash it, or you can flash it with the utility built in. Set up a JSON file with your password and SSID for your router, and then you can just use these little sort of drop-down menus to pick a device. So let me go to my devices here. This is my Adafruit IO. So you'll see here I added this one called JP ESP32S3 Reverse TFT Feather SHT45. So I put that name on there. I don't have it plugged in right now, so you won't see any updates on that. But this is how easy it is once you have that device set up to go and add any of the sensors that are part of this system. So if I type SHT45 45 here, you'll see there's the SHT45. I just clicked that and added it. And then I have access to temperature in Celsius Fahrenheit as well as humidity, as you can see there. So let's do a proper demo of this. Let me go to my down cam. And I'm going to go ahead and plug this into I2C using a Stemma QT cable. This is going into this feather here. And I'm just going to battery power this, actually, since I have it already set up. I don't need to use USB. So I have a nice big battery there. You'll see it has a little on LED, little green on LED to let us know that it's running. If I were to flip the feather over, you'll see it flash blue every couple seconds because I'm transmitting very rapidly the data on this. I think I have it set to every 2 seconds, which might be more than you need, but just for demonstration purposes, this will work well. So now with that set, let's go to the Adafruit IO page. I've created a dashboard for this called SHT45. And you can see here I've got humidity and the temperature in Celsius and Fahrenheit, as well as a little feed of that and a graph of just the humidity. So right now, humidity is at 46.5. It's fairly humid here today in Southern California. So that is my garage humidity, which is pretty much the same as the outdoor humidity. Now, what I think, let me switch one camera view out so you can see the gizmo, because I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull the camera out a bit just so you can see the container I'm going to put this in. Let me refocus that. So here right now, the humidity around 46%. I have a little Tupperware container here with some desiccant in it from my 3D printer situation for my filament. Keeping that stuff dry. So if I take the whole shebang and throw it inside of here, I'm gonna actually flip it over because you'll be able to see through the glass a little better. And let me turn the page back on. You can see it has already dropped to 11%, 8%, 7%. So if you've ever wondered just how drying is that desiccant, that's just been sitting in there drying the air in that container for the last hour or so. That's an unreasonably low humidity for something like printer filament. You might get it down to 10 to 20%, but I think it's kind of fascinating to see how quickly this will register on our SHT45 there and drop that humidity down like crazy. So, geez, 2.3, 2.2, it's a desert in there. Will it get lower? 2.1, 2.1, that may be as, 2%. Do I hear 1.9? Do I hear 1. I do. Okay, so I'll leave that up for a little bit as we finish this out. I just want to check and see if there's any questions in the chat. So Burton R says, does this output the temperature humidity as is, or is there some type of conversion needed from the raw numbers? So no, it just gives you the no conversion necessary. Gives you humidity as percentage and gives you temperature as Celsius. I think you might need to convert to Fahrenheit in your code. And now, in that, I should say that is for WipperSnapper. If you look at these numbers here, the humidity sensor is giving me 1.5360 for this like 16-bit accuracy here, which is kind of wild. Let me go back to the Learn guide, and I just want to check because I didn't test this in CircuitPython today, so I can't remember if we look at the basic code here. Yeah, it returns relative humidity as a percentage. So if you just do a call on the sht.measurements command, you will get back temperature in C and relative humidity as a percentage. So nice and easy, which is great. Let's see. I'm going to check the Discord. Any other questions? Todd says, wow, 2%. That's much better than I can get my filament holder down to. Time to add more desiccant. I think I've gotten mine down in the 10% range, but then that doesn't last long. If there's enough humidity in the filament, enough moisture in the filament, it will use up the drying powers of that desiccant pretty quickly, and you'll start hovering 20-25%, but still seems to print well for me in the PLA that I usually use. All right, let's see. Any questions? Anything else I didn't cover there? Let me know. And I'll go back. Okay, so what was our final answer? How low did we get? 1%. 1.0267. Oh, 0.98. We've actually dropped just a little below 1%. Wild. Okay, I am gonna call it there. Let me get this out of the little desiccant chamber there. By the way, one of the neat things, if you haven't used this kind of desiccant, you'll see there, it has these little amber colored beads in there, and those are color changing beads. Just some of them are. Most of them don't do that, but there's maybe 1% of them or something that are these color changing beads. They turn green when they have sort of maxed out the humidity, so they're moisture activated, which is great because then you can just visually see if your desiccant is done with. And some people will go ahead and dry that on cookie sheets in their dryer. I just buy big containers of it, and I haven't bothered drying them out. I am saving all of the used up stuff for no good reason. I should probably throw that away, but I actually haven't yet, so it sits in a big box. Okay, let's finish this up. Look at that right there. Oh, that right there is the product pick of the week this week. It is the SHT 45 humidity and temperature sensor with Stemma QT and the PTFE filter. For Adafruit Industries, I'm John Park. This has been JP's product pick of the week, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.